How long does it normally take you to unpack? Do you unpack right away or do you wait a little bit? I think this is day 4, but it's pretty much because I have to film my unpacking. And I used this big, huge backpack. Oh, it was rough. Welcome to my Ireland and Cyprus unpacking video, which is of course a follow-up to my Ireland and Cyprus packing video. The packing video is always great to show you guys everything that I am packing to prepare myself to go on a trip. But then the unpacking video is a really good follow-up. I can tell you how the bags held up, if I would pack differently next time, and tell you about my trip. The 2 videos ultimately really prepare you for your future trip. Even if you're not going to the same places that I went to, you can still see how I packed and potentially any mistakes that I made, so that when you are packing carry-on only for your trip, it inspires you or teaches you a lesson. We'll see. I will link the packing video down below in the description box, and then I will also link the vlog that I created when I went to Cyprus on the solo part of the trip. I don't usually want to go to places again and again, but I really feel like Cyprus I could go to once a year. I don't say that about a lot of places. Please subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I travel often and pack well and want to help you guys do the same. I have now been to 101 countries, 7 continents, and I've done it in a carry-on bag. Also follow us on Instagram. Then you would have already been updated on a lot of the stuff that I'm saying in this video, because I do live updates in the stories while I travel. So let's talk about the trip real quick. Oh my gosh, it was such a whirlwind, you guys. Brian and I left together to go to my friend's wedding in Waterford, Ireland. We flew from Detroit to Reykjavik, Iceland for a layover, which turned into an incredibly long layover. Our flight is severely delayed, so we decided to rent a car and go out and about in Iceland. Why not? Then of course we flew to Dublin and took a bus to Waterford and ended up getting there probably like 11:30 p.m. We were so tired. And then I had to wake up at 5 in the morning and start doing hair for the wedding. And then I had to get ready myself and was expected to party all night. I think we made it till about 10, but I know the party went on a lot longer than that. The next morning we woke up and made our way back to Dublin, where we had a little bit of time to sightsee. We roamed around as far as we could. We got some Irish stew and some fish and chips, and we laid in our bed watching YouTube videos all night. The next morning, Brian headed home. Brian's leaving. Bye, Brian. And I had all day in Dublin, and then I went to Cyprus and had an amazing time. I was there for just over 3 whole days and did a solo road trip, seeing as much of the island as I possibly could. I loved it there, and if there was a way that I could create a group trip to take you to Cyprus with me, I'm down. Like, let me know in the comments if you want to do that. It was such an incredible place. So before we start unpacking, let me tell you everything that we used. Brian packed in the Air small carry-on, which is brand new, and then he packed his personal item in the Air Go Pack 2. And everything accessory-wise we used was Air as well. As for me, I traveled with everything Tom Bin. I used their Technonaut 45 backpack and used all Tom Bin accessories as well. And then as my personal item, I used the Italian leather hand-woven tote from Quince. So yeah, I took a risk this time using a carry-on backpack. And if you guys have followed me for a while, you know I am not a carry-on backpack person, but the only experience I ever had traveling with a carry-on backpack was one that didn't have all the good stuff. You know, it didn't have the good padded back, the mesh breathability, the chest strap, the hip strap. So when I started reviewing carry-on backpacks, I'm like, okay, I have to give this a shot. I figured it was a great trip to try it. And I didn't love it, you guys. It is not a Tom Bin problem whatsoever. It is a me problem. I have such a bad back from standing doing hair every single day for the past 15 years. And therefore, I just don't think that I can do backpacks, big backpacks. I have to admit, I did love being kind of hands-free. Yeah, I'm hands-free. Woo! Or hop on a bus real quick, get right on the bus like this, whiz through. But I did miss my wheels. I know some of you are gonna be so disappointed by that. Again, I am not knocking this backpack whatsoever, but I just don't think that carry-on backpacks are for me. I had actually posted a picture at the very end of my trip of me wearing the backpack. I posted it on Instagram and I was totally whining about it. And a lot of people DM'd me saying that it's way too low and it doesn't look like it fits very well. But before I unpack it, let me just show you how it fits on my body and what I was experiencing. And then maybe you can let me know what I could possibly do to make it better, or if I'm just totally being a baby. You guys, I think one of the worst parts about traveling with a backpack is that every time I take it off, maybe you're not supposed to take it off the whole time you're in the airport. I have to be like, contort my body to try to get it on. Let me tie up my hair so you can really see everything I'm talking about. So it's just on normal right now and it's super low. So I'm gonna make it as high as it can go and I'm going to adjust these straps and then it's a little bit higher for sure. Do the chest strap and I can even adjust it higher, okay? And then I'm going to do this hip strap. Now I do know that they have some padded hip straps that you can buy instead of these little flimsy ones. I did have a friend of mine that's a big backpack person say those hip straps are nothing. You need something better than that. If I pull these straight forward, it's on my stomach, so it's at my natural waist, and I want to see if that's okay. While I was going through the airport, like this hurt so bad, and this started really digging into my armpits and really actually made me super red right here. I did end up checking it when I could. You guys know I'm a carry-on only girl, but if I ever have to check a bag, want to check a bag, I do it on the way home, because even if they lose it, it will eventually make its way to Detroit, and to be honest, I don't need anything out of it at all for a little while. Where's my luggage scale? Let's weigh this and see how much it was. Now, because I checked it, I did take the laptop out of it and put it in my tote bag instead. Holy crap, 24.5 pounds. Yeah. All right, you guys wanna see everything that's in here? It does hold 45 liters. There's a lot of crap in here. So let's dive right in. I'm just gonna open up the bag and show you guys what's in it. If you want a full review of this bag now that I've used it, it's going to come out later in the month. I'm not necessarily gonna be talking about the bag itself, just what I packed and what I learned on this trip. Outside pockets, I don't think there's anything in this one. There is a top pocket. I have like my laptop cord and stuff because I was editing at the airport, another cord, and my little GoPro red thing for when I was scuba diving. And then this is also empty. As for everything else, let's start with this bottom compartment here, which I did love to have because it kept things separated. So this was my toiletry bag from Tom Bin. Toothbrush, deodorant, my makeup, contacts, Q-tips, and then all of my actual makeup in here. Besides the wedding, I didn't really wear makeup. It was hot in Cyprus. I didn't really care. I was either swimming or hiking or going around town and completely melting. For the rest of the bottom of the bag, this is a little pouch I have for all of my camera batteries, and then my wet bathing suit. Put that in the laundry pile. And then for the main compartment, this is my Aloha bag, and I did use it for cords, GoPro, kind of like a tech bag. This was a hat that I bought in Paphos, and I loved it just because it was cute. It was cheap, why not? This is my blazer that I had packed as my jacket, and I really didn't need it except for the random time I had in Iceland. And then this is everything else. It's packed the exact same way that I packed it for the trip. I've got my tripod that I definitely used a lot, especially a lot of the pictures that I take of myself while I solo travel. And I do love this one in particular because yes, it's a little bit bigger than travel tripod slash selfie stick, but if you're doing a photo shoot on a cliff or on a windy beach like I was, it's a lot sturdier. Although it did fall down one time and I actually got it on film and it was pretty funny. I also have my flat iron. That's how I curl my hair. So I did use it a lot for the wedding, obviously to do everybody's hair. But then once I left Ireland and went to Cyprus, I did not use it at all. And then I have these shoes, which I thought I was going to wear a lot more than I did, only because they're cuter than the Skechers. The bottom was very, very slippery on the cobblestone. I never really wore them. And then as for the packing cubes, you guys, I loved this packing cube because it's dual-sided. And if you want to see everything that I wore, it is all in my packing video. I go over my capsule wardrobe, and I did wear every single thing. Wore it, wore it, wore it, wore it. Bought it there. I loved the skirt. I bought it in Nicosia. My dress for my On the Cliffs photo shoot. I wore this dress for our day in Dublin and when I was going through some of the villages. I wore this day one in Cyprus. Black dress I did end up wearing actually halfway through the wedding. I changed out of my like glamour gala dress, the only time I wore it. Pants wore in Ireland. Shorts I wore a couple of times. My other cube, this is my sarong. I did end up wearing it on the beach. I did not need it as a cover up at the wedding because it ended up being so hot. At the very last minute, packed this red dress because I really wanted to pack it but couldn't find it. And then I found it at the very last minute before we left for the airport and did end up wearing it for a little photo shoot. This black bathing suit from TA3 is incredible. It's got that corset back if you want to be a little bit more snatched up, but as a plus size girl that's like a size 18 to 20, I loved this. I felt so confident. I want it in every color, but it's so expensive. And then my dirty underwear, you don't need to see that. And then I had brought this bag as kind of just a cute little la 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 la, but never really ended up using it. And here I just have some souvenirs. That's everything in here. I do have this little pocket, wet wipes, sunglasses case, and apparently a rogue pair of earrings. That's it. That's everything I put in the Technonaut. Now let's move on to my personal item. This is my Italian leather hand-woven tote from Quince. Sand Cloud beach towel. I used it a lot on the airplanes when I got cold, as a pillow on the beach. My liquids, which I originally had in this Tom Bin bag, but in Ireland they made you switch over to their bags. I ended up putting some tech that I needed in this instead. This is what I refer to as my airplane bag. Everything I need on the plane if I don't want to dig into my tote, pills, my wallet, pens, gum, headphones, more headphones, hand sanitizer. I have been loving this pill container, you guys, because I just put everything in it that I possibly need. A little notebook, baby wipes, which is always great to have. You never know when you're gonna end up with no toilet paper or like sticky hands. Road trip, eating a plum, dripping down my body and my hands, baby wipes. A brush, I don't know why it was in my personal item. Contacts, glasses, passport. That's it, this video is getting long. And while I was in Dublin, I actually realized that the black pants that I had packed had a hole in them, so it was time for me to just toss those out. I was in a little vintage store and found these, and I wore those a lot. I made sure that they went with my color scheme, and they were great. Got them for like €7. Let's move on to Brian's bag. It was filled with not only his stuff, but my stuff for the wedding as well, and my stuff to do hair for the wedding. Let's weigh it. We had no problems with weight or carry-ons at all. 23.4 pounds, so it's a pound less than what the backpack was. So taking a look at how the bag looks, I haven't cleaned it off yet at all. So a couple little scratch marks, but I'm gonna go over it with the magic eraser. One thing that we really loved is that it does have a wheel brake right here under the handle. Great, great feature. So beautifully packed. Compression side, this buckle is so interesting and I had such a hard time with it at first till I figured it out. Instead of like pressing a button, it actually slides. So very, very cool. So on this side, wedding pants, wedding shirt, Brian's dirty underwear and socks. We aren't even going to open this. I love how these two can fit in here, and we still have this space right here. As for this packing cube, black shirt that we were supposed to wear to some pre-wedding parties that we didn't end up going to. We changed halfway through the wedding just to be a little bit more comfortable, so he did end up wearing this. His It's the Kellys merch shirt, travel often, pack well. Another shirt, joggers. He actually flew home in his jeans and a golf shirt. And then this jacket type of thing that we packed in case it did get cold. And like I said, it ended up being super warm, so he didn't wear that. As for this side, this is all wedding goodies. So this is my dress. It's like a $30 dress, so awesome. And then Brian's suit coat, packed it inside out. My little wedding shoes, wedding purse, used earrings, little koozie that says Jessica and Matt. And then this is an Air toiletry bag that I packed everything I needed to do hair for the wedding. It held everything I needed. Video so long or what? Last but not least, the day pack 2, which was Brian's personal item. We loved this backpack, you guys. It's so lightweight, and I really like the front pocket. He took a lot of his stuff out of here already, so I can't really show you what was in here. He's been home a lot longer than I have. I really love the Air carry-on, and I really loved this. Like I said, the Tom Bin backpack, I have no issue with it whatsoever. It just didn't work for me. But if you are a backpack lover, you could absolutely fall in love with it. And I envy the fact that you don't have chronic back pain. All right, guys, so that is it for my unpacking video. Again, watch the packing video, watch the vlog, watch the unpacking video, and then stay tuned for my full review of everything I just showed you today. I'm going to review the Tom Bin Technonaut 45. I'm going to review the Air small carry-on and actually compare it to the larger size carry-on, and then you can get a closer look as to how the bags actually held up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about Ireland or Cyprus or what I packed or the bags. Be sure you are subscribed and follow us on Instagram. I leave in a couple of weeks for another trip. I am so excited for this one. It's a place that not a lot of people go to as a tourist. Catch you guys later. Bye.